Okay, and we're live. Hi, everybody. We are here today from the Butterfly Wishes with Elora, one of our volunteer photographers. So we just thought that it'd be really nice to have a chat with Elora. And I'm just going to get our list of questions up if I can find them. Hang on. And just find out a bit about her and about what she does and why she's one of our volunteers. So also today on a live, I should say, so I'm Donna, and below us, we're below me, I don't know which order we're in on the screen, but I've got Kirsty, and she's one of our admin. And Kirsty, do you just want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi. And then we've got our volunteer, Elora. So Elora, do you just want to say hello and introduce yourself to everybody?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Elora, as Donna's already said. I am based in Lincolnshire, and I do family photography with a documentary twist to it. And I have been a volunteer with Butterfly Wishes for a couple of years now, if we delete the COVID period, which
that didn't exist, right?
It didn't happen.
We lost a year. I'm still only 44.
I like that idea.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your personal life. So your living situation, have you got kids? Are you married? What do you do? Is photography your only business? Tell us all about you.
Okay, so I, as you can tell by my accent, I am not British. I'm originally from Canada, and then when I finished high school, I moved to Italy for what was supposed to be a gap year. Ended up being 12 years in a marriage, and then we moved to the UK and eventually settled in Lincolnshire. And I have two daughters, one who is 7 and one who is about to turn 5, as she likes everyone to know, in like 3 weeks. She's very excited. I also have a cat, 3 goldfish, and 2 snails, and we're currently raising caterpillars to turn into butterflies. So we have a zoo at the house. We're also looking into getting giant African land snails.
Oh, wow.
So yeah. Anyone who wants to follow that journey can enjoy my page. So yeah, I am a family photographer. I do documentary lifestyle work, mostly outdoors and in people's homes. I do that as my main job, but because of my joyful 12 years in Italy, I learned Italian, and so I also do translation work on the side. Oh, wow. And I do lunch lady duty at my kids' local school as well.
Brilliant.
So I keep myself busy for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So how long have you been in business?
So in business, on and off, about 7 years. But as life lived photography, it's been about 5 years in January.
Wow. Okay, so it's been quite a while. And so tell us, how did you get into photography? What got you started? How did you pick up the camera?
I have to go all the way back to my high school days and thank my art teacher, my grade 11 and 12 art, my grade 12 art teacher. Well, she was 11 and 12, but it was grade 12 when I started. I always wanted to be a creative person. I love doing creative things, but I lack one big thing. I cannot draw.
Same,
I have no artistic skills whatsoever. So I insisted, though, because I am hard-headed, and I kept taking art classes, and I kept doing it and being, as creative as I could. And then in the last year, my teacher said, we have a photography module coming up, and I think this is the one for you. So I did photography based on her. She lent me one of the school cameras. She taught me how to use the darkroom because, yes, I'm that old. And something just clicked in my mind, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. I found it. I found what is my creative outlet for me.
Yeah. And
so I basically spent pretty much most of my grade 12 year after school in the darkroom, developing pictures. I took the camera to my prom, and since I was dateless, I just played the role of photographer, and I photographed all my friends. And then I spent the week after that developing all these copies of pictures for them to have as my, grad gift. So then I kept photography as a hobby for years and years. I mean, Italy is full of beautiful places to photograph.
Absolutely.
So I did mostly like on traveling or hikes, just hobby stuff. And it was only when I had my children that I decided that I wanted to turn it more towards people rather than landscapes and just street photography. So I started practicing and training and learning and failing and trying again. And I finally got to a point where I was like, I think I can start a business properly. So I did. And I've kept training and developing and growing. And I think for now, I have found my niche. So
Amazing.
good.
It takes a while, doesn't it, to get there? And I think like finding your whole style and getting into the flow of your own self and your own business actually takes a real sort of big challenge to get there. So that's awesome. I love that. I think it's brilliant. I mean, your work's stunning. Your work is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So we'll pop in the link in the comments to your page so people can go and check it out and go and give your Facebook page and Instagram some love. So that would be really good.
Thank you.
Got a sore throat now. So you've told us about how you got into photography, and I think you really told us where your passion comes from. It was just wanting to be truly a creative person and knowing that you had to have that outlet. I'm a lot like you, actually. I think I found that in school, like I was really naff at art. I couldn't draw, but I was so jealous of everybody that could, and I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be creative, and I just wasn't. I just didn't have it in me. And like you, I think I found photography, and that was a game changer for me. It was like, oh, this is what I should be doing. This is where I'm supposed to be. So okay, so you've been a volunteer for Butterflies for a few years. And tell us, why did you decide to volunteer for the charity?
I decided to volunteer for the charity because I wanted to do something to give back. I have had acts of kindness given to me in the past. I have gone through some tough times like everyone. And because of one or two people who have given to me, I thought it was right for me to give back. And I didn't want to just do a one-off donation to someone, although I have done those, obviously. But, I wanted to do something a bit more concrete. And when I discovered the power of photography in creating memories that are tangible for people to have for always, of people who might not be there for long or might not be there, losing loved ones, myself, and only having those photographs remain. I was like, that's it, that's what I want to do, is I want to photograph other people. So I started looking around, and I ended up I think it was at one of the SWPP conventions that you guys had a stand or something. And I stopped by and I chatted. I don't know who it was because it was a long time ago. But I sat and I chatted and I got some information and I had a think, and I was like, I think this is what I'd like to do. Because there's a lot of things for like babies and stuff, but not for older children sometimes. And I think that, especially as kids get to be teenager age and all that kind of stuff, you kind of take less pictures because they're all like, no. But if they have something that's life limiting, or if, or changing in such a way, it becomes that much more precious. So I decided that this was the charity that I wanted to work for in a tangible way, so that I could make something for somebody else and give back in that way.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, we're so grateful to you and to all of our volunteers for stepping up, because without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do it. It's as simple as that. We wouldn't be able to cover as many families and help as many people as we do. So we are really, really grateful to everybody that donates their time to us. Right, you've already done a session. Some of our volunteers haven't done sessions yet. We've done a massive boost recently, haven't we, Kirsty, and got a lot of new volunteers on, especially in Wales, because we were lacking. And so you've already done a session, and obviously a lot of our volunteers haven't. How did you find it? Were you nervous? How did you go into it? Did you have any expectations? Tell us a bit about that.
I was nervous because it was a couple of years ago as well, wasn't it? And it was my first time working with someone who had physical limitations. This boy is wonderful, but he has physical limitations, gets very tired very easily. But I approached it a lot like I would approach a normal session. So we chose an outdoor location that was special to them.
Nice.
So we drove out to what's it called? Cumber Park, I think it's up in Nottinghamshire, somewhere out near Sheffield. Anyway, it's somewhere that they love to go for walks
That's nice.
as a family, and it was special for them. And so I approached it like I would a normal one. So when we take a volunteer family, you guys send out a questionnaire and then you send the answers to us. So that really helped a lot. So based on those, I then contacted the mother, who was the, contact point, and we chose the location. She explained to me a little bit more about his problems. She told me about her other children, how they react with, other people. She told me that if they had photos done before with someone else, just like I would approach a normal family situation. And then I drove out there and I met them, and we just went for a walk. And then I just kind of followed my usual routine. I made sure to photograph at least one of them all together. For brief periods, he was able to get out of his wheelchair. So we did a little bit of them, just maybe standing, feeding the ducks. We were really lucky. It was a beautiful day that day because, this is the UK. So you never know. But we were really lucky. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And it was a beautiful location. And, after a while, he got tired. You could see he was tired. He was done. And so maybe I kind of let him have his moment with one of his brothers, and I photographed some of the other members of the family, the other children, just so that they could have other things of them having fun as well. And then we went and we got like a coffee, and that was it. But it was a lovely day together. I spent as much time as was needed. It wasn't just, okay, my hour's done, because you have to take that into consideration, that they might need a break in between or something like that. And I've still managed to keep in touch with the family, and it's been really lovely to see how things have been going with them as well.
That's really nice. That's really amazing that you've kept in touch and that you've still got that relationship with them. Oh, that's beautiful. So, okay, one last question for you then.
All right.
Have you got any tips for any photographers that are about to go and do a session for us, their first session for us? You got any top tips?
Accept that you're going to be nervous, and accept that you've probably never done something like it before. I would say accept that you're going to probably make a mistake. Prepare yourself as much as you can. Talk to the family firsthand. If you're not a phone person, like me, I'm not a phone person, send like 4,000 emails if you have to. Go on Messenger, go on WhatsApp, do something else written. But just get in touch with the family, get to know them ahead of time, because I think it's important for you to approach them as a friend rather than as someone who is just there to do them a favor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, because you want to be there. You're helping them, yes. You are doing them a favor because you're giving them a free session, but you're doing it because you want to help them have that and immortalize that love that they have for each other. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in environments you're not used to shooting, like hospitals. I got lucky. I was outdoors. That's my place. So for me, it was great. But, I've also photographed births before. So I also know how to do a hospital setting. And, just adapt. If the lighting sucks, make them black and white. It doesn't matter if you cheat in that way, because what they're going to see not technically perfect images. They're going to see the love that they have for their child. And I think that's the most important thing to remember.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. It is very nerve-wracking. And there are going to be situations that you go into that might not be your comfort zone. And it's important to just do the best that you can. And like we look at all of our volunteers now, don't we? And we ask them to give us a portfolio of images, basically, to show us that they can sort of work in most situations. But hospital light tends to be quite
it's hard because it's a place where you can feel like it's different from like a birth room or something like that. Sometimes you go into these rooms and you feel like sadness and worry and fear, and it's so hard not to be affected by that. But if you just focus on, that's what I have to do, my job is to get their connection. Who cares about the light? Who cares about everything else? Crank up that ISO. No one cares about the grain. It's just about them. So yeah, don't work on technical, work on connection. That's it. I'm done. I feel
that's brilliant. No, that's brilliant. That's really lovely advice. I think it's really good for, as I think a lot of volunteers will probably worry, and it might put people off from volunteering with us if they think, but seeing someone and hearing someone talking about it and talking about their experiences is just really reassuring. So yeah, no, this has been amazing. This has been brilliant. Thank you so much for being our first victim. I mean, volunteer.
Thank you for having me as a guinea pig.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. It's been lovely to have you. And we have got loads more volunteers lined up to interview over the coming weeks, which is going to be really good fun. And yeah, so if anybody has got any questions for Elora, you can pop them in the comments and Elora can go through a bit later on and respond to everybody. And I'll go in now and share your business page and your website and stuff so that people can go and check out your work and go and see what you actually do. So thank you, Elora. It's been amazing.
Thanks for having me.
You take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.